what for you has been a big turning point or moment which explains or gives some kind of insight into why we are where we are today in Catalonia and its relationship with Spain and the central government?
And I really had the feeling that the referendum would end or deflate at least the independence movement, because yes, okay, hold your referendum, it's illegal, and what the hell do you do with that? Where do you go from there? And then came, you know, as John mentioned, this incredible decision to use the police for a referendum that you have told people isn't going to happen, but also in any case is irrelevant. You've told them it's illegal, it's irrelevant, we don't care. So you don't care, but then you send 10,000 policemen to care about it. The point is, someone gives orders to use rubber bullets in a part of the Spanish territory where rubber bullets are banned. That is not an innocent decision. And then you revive, you give the moral high ground to this movement, and you also help this movement move away from the very difficult issue of independence, where the movement doesn't have a majority of the votes and has a real fight, to a much more fertile ground, which is democracy and the right to vote.
I agree with Rafael that it's been moving by the day, almost by the week more, and I also agree that it was dwindling maybe before the referendum. Then all these actions may have reinforced it. Now, if there are the two extremes, the people in the middle have been, as I was telling you, pushed to the independentism by the negation and the denial and all this. So my only prediction is that there are more people towards independentism than there were on the 15th of September now.
In Catalonia right now, we have a situation where you've got a surprisingly small percentage of people who are apolitical. I think everybody's been sucked in to this debate, which of course has had really pretty severe impact on families and friends. We all Catalans here will know that families have been torn down the middle, parents against sons, indeed husbands against wives, etc., etc. Friends have fallen out, rather like with the Brexit issue here, but I think more bitterly ratcheted up a few more notches. Harold Wilson had the famous line, "A week is a long time in politics." Right now in Catalonia, an hour is a long time in politics. There is so much stuff being packed in, and it's very, very difficult to judge what people's reaction is going to be, for example, to this Puigdemont flight to Brussels. Is that going to be seen as an act of shocking cowardice, which is going to, deflate the vote? Or will it be seen as some kind of a heroic thing as he becomes, Catalonia's Ayatollah Khomeini in exile or something?
Even in Spain, probably, we will start to have a debate about we should have a referendum or not, because all what is happening is going to influence a lot the debate about the Catalan problem, not only in Catalonia but in Spain.
But really, I couldn't agree more. And again, as Rafael said, people, who knows what the distribution exactly is, independence against independence, what the balance is right now, post, everything, it changes every hour. But where there is absolute, not absolute consensus, but absolute majority, clear majority opinion, 70–80% according to the poll, is that there should be a damn referendum. But I don't think it's going to happen, because in Madrid they are implacably opposed to this. And it's a question of honor, coño, el honor. No vamos a ceder, and that's Madrid.
So you do think like this sort of Spanish pride comes into play in the
Spanish pride comes in hugely into play. It's a massive thing.
Does anyone think that there shouldn't be a referendum in Catalonia today?
What democracy means. And I think the expression you gave in English is quite correct, is the rule of the law. So John Carlin was talking about our constitution. It might be right, it might be wrong, but it was the one that helped us go through a very difficult time. So I would like to defend our constitution. While it's the rule we have, we should respect it. So in the constitution right now, if there is a referendum, it should be in the whole territory of Spain.
I thought the speech of the King was just so appalling and very unhelpful. Could he have been different? Could he have said something different? Could he have been more uniting in that sense?
It was so uncompromising and so sort of like, we've got the full force of the law, we're going to come and get you. But I have to say, his head of press was quite sort of blasé about it, which, my experience, some of the sort of very pro-independence people inside the movement are.
He should have definitely said, this, I call on the Catalans to return to negotiations or something, not to be the school headmaster speaking to them when he does speak Catalan, speaking to them in Spanish and telling them off.
Has been behaving towards Catalonia in this consistently disrespectful way. And everyone I talk to who's switched to independence in the last few years says, ¿por qué falta de respeto? A lack of respect. It's not just that. What you sense in recent weeks in particular is a desire to crush, to humiliate. You know, the ovation they got that Rajoy got in the Senate last week when he gave a speech calling on Article 1.5 for under direct rule in Catalonia. You would think that a responsible government, you know, would implement that sort of law in a spirit of sorrow, in a spirit of regret. This is the last resort, when actually everything indicates to me that this has been the first resort in their minds, and they just celebrate it as if they scored the goal in the cup final in the Senate.
But isn't that what Spanish public opinion demands?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there is precisely that.